we get The Rock.
Yep.
Okay, so now, remember, we're doing this in chronological order. Nothing has happened yet outside of The Rock coming out. Rock comes out, gives Cody kudos, say you held the company down on your back for the last year. You the man. He does some Samoan stuff, talks about how proud he is, happy he is. He'll keep an eye on the match tonight, Tribal Compact. He leaves. At that point, what's your thoughts about The Rock and what's going on?
I mean, he's still a conniving son of a gun. I don't believe or trust anything that comes out of that man's mouth as the final boss. I thought it was super awesome that they gave Cody his props. Again, you're trying to, what was the video we watched? They talk about movies and like how in TV shows, how they had to start it off a certain way. Like in the beginning, they say person's name over and over and over again. So that
Well, yeah, we just watched something about that.
Yeah, it's a psychological
connecting,
thing.
from the connecting of the characters. Yep.
And so they pretty much told you who are the important people. You know that the first match is going to be Roman and Solo, but I'm just giving Cody mad props up front. So I think he was just doing what the format of a show, of the first show to get eyeballs on, is what Rock did. As far as like him being cool with Cody, again, I think all this is just a ruse. I don't believe anything. I used to say Cody is a politician and he'd just say anything to look like the good guy. Rock is an absolute consummate politician. He has a TV show that he was a politician in. Like, to me, anything that comes out of his mouth, I don't really care what I think he's saying or what he's trying to say. At any moment, he can flip the script and be the ultimate bad guy.
So at that point, he's standing in the ring. He just gives Cody his kudos. He says, I'll be watching. He leaves. You, in that moment, you are saying to yourself, he's full of it. That's not real.
What I said in that exact moment was, you are a conniving son of a gun. And that's all I thought.
Okay,
at
got
any
it.
moment you could flip.
Well, if I'm excited because I'm thinking, I told you guys already, I want Cena, Cody, Rock, Roman. Those are the two main events I want for the show. So the word was, if we get Rock and Cody, then it's going to be Gunther Cena. And I have no wants to see that match. Of course, they're going to sell me on it. And by the time we get there, I'm be like, hell yeah, I can't wait. I don't care about that match. So I'm like, this is perfect for me. So when he shouted out Cody, I was like, one, that's really cool that he put him over like that. But then I was like, hell yeah, we've moved on. We have moved on. Now, I listened to Busted Open, and shout out to them today, actually. And Bully was going off on Monday about how it was disrespectful to Cody, how Cody should have gotten an entrance and came down. And it was more of Rock talking at Cody and not talking to him. Cody is showing him from a perspective of being in the crowd as a fan. And his thing was like, you would never see The Rock in that position in the crowd as a fan being talked to. You wouldn't see Austin, you wouldn't see Taker, you wouldn't see Orton, you wouldn't see Cena, you wouldn't see Roman. He has a point there, but he was livid. Of course, Dave, being a huge Cody guy, was also upset. And a lot of their upsetness, I think, for Dave was, I feel like this is an attaboy, you tapping me on the head and you kind of sunning me a little bit. Like, you didn't get the match you wanted last year. And now, instead of, because Bully's thing was like, Triple H comes out, does his thing, Cody's music hits. So Cody, who is the guy outside of Roman, gets his pyro, he gets the song, he gets the entrance. And as soon as he goes to say one word, The Rock's music hits. He said you could have had Rock cut that exact same promo and put him over, but at least they're standing face to face. They shake hands, they're in the same shot, not somebody from the crowd looking into the ring.
Can I pause you there for a second? So I can completely see that side of it for the fans who watches every week. But again, we are trying to sell and advertise this show. So the way I interpret that was, you have The Rock, who's is one of the biggest movie superstars that there are, in addition, a former WWE wrestler. When this person is specifically saying, you have held this company down on your back for the last year, I'm going to take what he say as gospel. So as a person who isn't watching every week, who really doesn't have any investment, I now know, because again, you're trying to smart up the fans, I now know that this guy over here who looked like $1 million, Cody looked damn sharp, that is a person that we need to be paying attention to. So I get what Bully is saying, but for me, just looking at it as, this is an advertisement. This is a marketing thing. First time on Netflix, they bring you in. This is the pilot. I thought they did a fantastic job at giving Cody props.
And it's a little bit different because now if we hadn't seen Cody again that night, I get it. And I still understand him. I'm not nearly as passionate about that part of it because he did get his music, even though it was very quick when he did the run in Tribal Combat. So for him to come out and save Roman or get involved in Roman, that's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. So Rock leaves. I'm like, hell yeah. Okay. He's got to show up at the end of Tribal Combat and like screw over The Rock. Yeah. Right. I'm like, all right, he's got to show up. Even though I thought Roman was going to win, I'm like, okay, maybe something happened here. Maybe he helps Solo, whatever. Match is over. He comes back out. And then he gets, I'm like, oh shit, he's about to hand to him in a rock bottom. And then Paulie gets in place right behind. So he's in the shot. And they wrap the story. Like, that's it. We shake hands. I acknowledge you. You are the tribal chief. Love you. Bye. So now I'm like, okay, he's not showing up again. I'm like, okay, maybe they do like something backstage. I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. You would do that in front of the crowd to get a massive reaction. Okay, so that's it. So now I'm like, all right, he shouted out Cody. That story's done. Yeah, we can always revisit the story of Bloodline, but you acknowledged him last year. This year, you crowned him, shook his hand, hugged. Okay, this story's over. So now I'm like, all right, well, that's interesting. I guess The Rock is not involved.
But he's still a conniving son of a gun because he made sure he mentioned that he is considered a high chief. I don't know his name. Sela, I think is his name. He's a high chief. So yes, he was the one who put the Ulafala back on Roman. To me, I still think that everything is methodical in that aspect when it came to the bloodline, that he did that on purpose. And deep down inside, and I'm not booking the bloodline, said I never do it. But I'm telling you, I still think that he's a conniving, you know what.
Okay, so then we get Tuesday. He comes out into what he said he's the final boss on Tuesday. He's got the dumbass belt with him. He's cussing every other word. Okay, so now the final boss is back. So then he cuts his promo talking about the Cody crybabies again. You can't be nice to Cody. You can't be nice to Cody. And he tells everybody, shut up, know your role, and let him take you on this ride. In that moment, how are you feeling?
You know, again, I didn't see that final boss character. Now, I do want to go back a little. I do want to rewind a little bit back to that last segment. When I watched the end of that, after The Rock gave Roman the Ulafala and everything, I was looking at the faces. Because, like, you know, I like the details and I like the stories, right? Because, like, you know, Rock wasn't in the ring smiling, you know, and clapping and everything else, right? He had kind of a, you know, it was kind of a weird look they were giving each other. Like, right, it was it was a little bit of a weird tension. And, you know, The Rock, you know, kind of opened the ring for him and everything. Like, it seemed like there was something weird going on. And Roman and Rock, Paul Heyman, these guys are masters at a craft of what they do in telling the story, right? Like, I think all of that was by design. Like, the Rock's expressionless.
Has to be.
The slowness he was acting, you know, giving the Ulafala and then slowly raising his hand, standing off in the corner, stoic, you know, hands in front of him, you know, just kind of watching. You know what I mean? All of that didn't seem like a person that was just handing over the reins, no pun intended, to the next person, right? This seemed like a guy who had something up his sleeve, as to Rhodesia said, which I like, right, which gives me hope as a fan. Okay, cool. There's a continuation happening with these guys.